Okay, welcome back, Coffman. You've made it the third period, and we're going to talk a little bit about how the offices are working and different things, as everything will be different, different places in the building. First, let's start with the library. The library's closed. We will not be able to use the library this year, at least this semester. We're using it for some study halls and some storage. It's just the way it has to be this year till we get everything under control. We're doing Chromebooks and stuff out of there, but that is going to be closed for general use. It's closed before school, it's closed after school. There are some online resources the library has that you would be able to access through our website, so you can do that, and you can work with your language arts teachers and some of the other staff on that as well if you need help. So we'll start with that. The clinic is another big one. You will not be able to just access the clinic. You need to go through a teacher. A teacher will call the clinic. If you're not feeling well, we'll call the clinic. They'll ask some questions. If they feel like your symptoms could lean towards COVID symptoms, then they're going to take you to a room that we have sanitized and set up especially for students in this boat, and they can assess you and determine what to do. So that is different. So if you go down to the clinic and knock on the door, you're not going to get in. The teacher's going to have to call down and make sure you have access to the clinic, and they'll work with you in that regard when it comes to the clinic. Now, you set up if you have meds that you take every day through the clinic, we still do that. They'll be expecting you at a certain time. You can go and certainly do that just like you have in the past. We have the main office, the guidance office. Those are very similar. Obviously, we're asking you not to come down to the office unless it's an emergency. Folks in our offices are accessible by email. Your guidance counselors, assistant principals, myself. If you needed something, you could certainly do that. You could ask those questions that way. There, you will see markings all over the offices for social distancing if you are there. And again, we'll do everything we can to keep you safe when you do access those areas. The biggest one now is the attendance. That is a busy place. We understand that. There will be a lot of markings in the attendance office, social distancing. And many of you are going to be leaving school to go to Emerald Campus. Typically, you would have gone to Emerald Campus to take College Credit Plus and your academies. College Credit Plus now is 100% online for the whole semester for Columbus State. You'll notice with parking, I opened the juniors up a little bit more this year, especially those going to Columbus State or going to Emerald Campus, because we do not have a place for you to go if you don't have a classroom with a teacher in it. So what we're asking you is, if you have an online course through Columbus State and you're not supposed to be, that you don't have a class, we're asking you to go home and do that work from home. We do not have areas for you to hang out in. If you do go to Emerald Campus and there is a break in your schedule, this will happen to a few people. We have got to have you in the cafeteria at one of the desks, sitting social distanced, and we'll work with you too to try and figure out if it's a short time and that's the best way to do it. Then we'll just know who is in there and we'll be able to monitor and manage that. But if you're able to go home during an online class, we ask you to go home. Obviously, the lower number of people in the building is safer, and so we would definitely encourage that. So just some more information for you. You're going to learn your schedule as you go through and see what's appropriate for you. But you're going to be asked questions if you are sitting in the cafeteria during a class period and people aren't technically supposed to be there. Just help us understand what your situation is, and we'll make sure you're where you need to be. So things we're going to have to figure out, but those are kind of the office situations this year, and I'll see you next period. Thanks, everybody.